Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the new 2022 Ford Maverick. It is going to be officially announced in the next few days, and in today's video I'm going to explain why this little truck is such a big deal. Let's get straight into the video. So first off, let's just go over the quick facts, or at least what we kind of know on the Maverick. Now, this is obviously not confirmed until the truck is officially announced, but here's what it sounds like, is that this is going to be a unibody vehicle, so similar to like Honda Ridgeline and then the new Hyundai Santa Cruz. So it's not going to be a body-on-frame truck like you get with the Ranger or the F-150. Apparently, starting price might be around $20,000, so I mean, it's going to be pretty inexpensive. I mean, I think that's like $10,000 less than a base model Ford Ranger, somewhere around that roughly. But it sounds like it's going to be built off of the same platform as the Ford Escape and the new Ford Bronco Sport. So that means that this, again, is going to be very similar to what you get with the Santa Cruz and with the Ridgeline, being kind of like an SUV type truck. But what that means is that this is going to be built off of a front-wheel drive platform instead of a rear-wheel drive platform like most trucks, right? Most trucks, they start as rear-wheel drive and then they'll add a 4x4 option, whereas this, it seems like it is probably going to be the opposite, where it'll be front-wheel drive and then it'll have a 4x4 option. So I'm sure that'll make the driving dynamics pretty interesting. You'll have a truck that torque steers and all that kind of stuff. And then since it's sharing the whole platform with those vehicles, it's also most likely going to share the engines. So you guys remember, you've got the 2-liter that's got 250 horsepower, and you guys know I actually really like that engine. The transmission is a little bit lackluster, but it's still a really good combination overall. And then you do have the smaller 3-cylinder engine you can get with the Bronco Sport, so I imagine that'll probably be the entry-level engine for the truck, but we'll see exactly what they end up doing. And then in terms of the packaging here, now this is just my guess, I think that they're going to do similar packaging to what they do on the Ranger. So you're going to have like an XL, XLT, and then probably a Lariat. They probably won't expand it crazy out there in terms of packaging, but basically you'll have like a work truck, you'll have kind of like a middle line version, and then you'll have like a fully loaded luxury version as well. And then in terms of capabilities and all that, if we look at the capabilities of the Ranger, it's actually a really capable mid-sized truck. The Ford Ranger right now, payload capacity for most of those trucks, depending on the package, is right around about 1,500 pounds roughly, again depending on the exact packaging and everything with the truck. And then in terms of the towing capacity, right, you're in that 6,000 to 7,000 pound range. Now this is going to be a smaller truck, so here's my personal guess. We'll see what the exact specs end up being, but I'm guessing that the payload's going to be closer to like the 1,000 pound range. It's going to be somewhere like a little bit under, maybe a little bit over. That's at least my guess. And then in terms of the towing capacity, I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere in the 4,000 to 5,000 pound range, maybe a little bit less, but I think it's going to be somewhere in that range. So basically, it's just going to be just a little bit less capable than the Ford Ranger, but I don't think it's going to be a huge step down in capability. I guess depending on your perspective on everything. Now, why is the Maverick such a big deal, even though it's just another little truck that's not particularly exciting? Here's why I think the Maverick is such a big deal. First off, again, this is unconfirmed. There is potential for a hybrid powertrain with the Maverick. Now, you can already get a hybrid Escape, and so I think that literally they might just throw the hybrid Escape powertrain into the Maverick. There's potential for that, right? That's not going to be nearly as expensive as developing a new powertrain. So I think that's a big deal, right? Because then this shows Ford's commitment to having more electric vehicles, right? They're doing more with electrifying their lineup. That's pretty big. Now, the next reason why I think the Maverick is such a big deal is it shows Ford's commitment to trucks and SUVs. So you guys remember, within the last few years, Ford completely got rid of all of their cars, right? You can't get the Ford Focus anymore. You cannot get the Ford Fusion anymore. And now, all of a sudden, right, they got rid of those, and they're coming out with a bunch of new SUVs and trucks, right? We have the new Bronco coming out. We've got the Bronco Sport that's already out, and we now have the new Maverick, right? It's another mid-sized truck. And so it kind of just shows this commitment with Ford in terms of doubling down on trucks and SUVs, and it looks like this is just the path forward for the manufacturer. I mean, hell, they even put the Mustang name on an SUV, right? And so it just really shows the route that Ford is taking and kind of the direction that they're going with their brand overall. And so I imagine in the next few years, Ford might be a completely carless brand, because we do still have the Mustang, but who knows how much longer that will actually last for. Me personally, I hope that the Mustang stays around. Even though I don't own one, I still think it's a cool car to be out there and everything, and it's such an iconic car, and if they got, you know, completely rid of that car, I would be a little bit sad. Now, the other reason why I think the Maverick is such a big deal is Ford is finally entering this kind of weird truck segment that isn't necessarily crazy high in volume, but it's still definitely a segment. And I feel like Honda was the one that originally started this segment with the Ridgeline, right? It's the truck that gets made fun of so much, right? It's the not truck, because it's just basically a Honda Pilot with a truck bed on it. And I think that Ford is now seeing that there is definitely market opportunity, right? Because there's people that just want to have a truck bed, but they want something that gets good gas mileage. And you know what? There's not that many options that fit within that category. And yeah, there are some mid-sized trucks, but like this is kind of like, obviously, again, a level below that. And so I think it's really exciting that there's more options in this category, right? Again, we have the new Santa Cruz coming out, and now we have this Maverick, because it's going to make it so that more manufacturers are probably going to start investing into this category, and we're going to see just more options within this category. And then on top of that, we're going to see just, I think, crazier and crazier packages happen. Like, now that the Honda Ridgeline is not the only truck in this category, Honda's going to have to step up their game, and they're going to have to redo a bunch of stuff with the Ridgeline to make it so that it can kind of keep pace with everything. And then obviously everyone else is going to bring stuff. And you know what would be really cool, and this is just my hope, is if we get a crazy high performance little truck. That would be absolutely awesome. Like, think of a Raptor version of the Ford Maverick. They're probably not going to do it, but that would be absolutely fantastic, just to have something that small and compact with tons of power and with really advanced off-road suspension. And I guess that's just me daydreaming a little bit, but let's get back into the main topic. So that is pretty much everything that we know currently on the Ford Maverick. Again, it's going to be a smaller size truck. It's unibody instead of body on frame like the Ford Ranger. It seems like it's going to be built off the same platform as the Ford Escape and the Ford Bronco Sport. It's adding to this smaller truck category that you have the Honda Ridgeline and then the new Hyundai Santa Cruz that should be out relatively soon. And again, it's just really showing Ford's commitment to trucks and SUVs and what Ford is planning on doing forward, right? In the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to see even more trucks and SUVs in Ford's lineup, and you're going to see more hybrid vehicles, and you're going to see more electric vehicles as well. It shows the brand's commitment. And the thing I think is interesting is right after the Maverick was announced, Ford's stock increased. And so I think that not only does Ford know that this is the right path to go, I think that the public opinion kind of goes along with it, because now you have more people that are actually willing to invest their money into Ford as a company, and right, that's why the stock price is going up. I think that Ford is doing something awesome here. I'm really excited about what they're doing, because they're really trying to shake up the market in a bunch of different ways, right? This is to attack what Hyundai and Honda are doing with their little mid-sized trucks. And then on top of that, and this is obviously not related to this video, but I just think this is a cool thing, a point to make is, and then on top of that, they are going and attacking Tesla with their new F-150 Lightning, right? And they already attacked Tesla with the new Mustang Mach-E, because that is a direct competitor to the Model Y, and they'll have the new Mach-E GT out soon. That's really weird to say, Mach-E GT. Anyways, they'll have that out soon, which will be a high performance variant that'll really compete against the Model Y. And so I just love the fact that Ford is taking all of these manufacturers that are kind of specializing in certain things, and then they're throwing something in that segment they specialize in to shake things up, right? The Maverick's going to shake things up in the small truck segment. And then on top of that, right, the Mach-E is already kind of shaking things up with the Tesla Model Y. And then the Lightning is going to shake things up with the new Cybertruck that obviously hasn't come out yet fully, but it will be out shortly. And so, yeah, it's just really exciting to see everything that's happening with Ford as a brand. And as always, if you guys like videos like this, let me know in the comment section below. If you're stopping for the first time, please subscribe. And then if you feel like my videos are of intrinsic value to you, I'd really appreciate it if you would go and help me out on Patreon. Link in the description down below. I will see all of you guys in that next video.